Ja, tjena. Hello. I'm going to take this in English. I was wondering if I was going to talk Swedish or English in this video, but I decided for English, and somewhere in my brain there was some problems with that decision, I guess. Let's take some poison. No, it's a vitamin drink. Okay. Nice to take another video up. I hadn't had time to do this for a while again. Sick children and work, and I've also been sick. I'm always sick, but now I have been in the physical form also, not just mentally. Okay, let's dive into it. The last video was about this album Grötvåg, and that was like a very a surge in both performance, record wise, and the mixing. It was much better than everything else that I had created. Let's see. All albums where I played real instruments, like here in Damp, Mutilafication, Heartfield, Nappflaskan, Meningar, Case Sensitive, and Knowledge of Existence. And then Grötvåg came, and it was much better. I recorded it tight, and I had fun all the time. That's the main part of it. And I don't know what it was with me. I think that I felt that I was loved and stuff like that. Not doing this like a psychologist run again, because we were already there in the Heartfield album, I guess. But yeah. Oh, so my neighbors start pounding on the walls. Great, thank you. Anyway, I recorded when I was recording this Grötvåg album. I also got some inspiration for making like instrumental songs, like I always done since the 90s, and also trying to do orchestral music, because I had some cool samples, like string samples, that I wanted to use. So I started to do some long songs, like 10 minutes long. I came up with two songs that I thought was finished. And then when I was finished with the Grötvåg album, I also wanted to finalize this Mitril Genie album. So I just added a lot of small. Oh my god. Is this happening? Yeah, I guess it is. Wow. I don't know if it sounds a lot into the microphone or not. I'm gonna try to do this video anyway. Yeah, okay. So I'm very pleased with these two songs. They are not released anywhere, so yeah, this one is released on YouTube, I think. Maybe this one too. But some of these songs are I have never put them anywhere, not in Mod Archive, not in YouTube, not in Spotify or anything else. So yeah, I don't know. It was a mistake, I think, to add all these songs, and some of them are really lo-fi and not that great. I think Connection 5 and A Call and maybe Sleeping Giant, depends on these songs are okay, and they are also using the same samples as the first songs. So I had like a theme, but then I just added some old chip tunes that weren't at any other album, and I kind of ruined the whole thing. Yeah, let's just listen. And now I oh my ah! Yeah, so the song just goes on like this. It's like a calm song. It has its ups and downs, like more intense parts. But for the main part, it's just like cool chords going into sync with each other and some melodies on that. But I like the sound. I think it sounds like an old movie or something. I was really happy to play around with these samples, because before this I just had some really bad orchestral samples, like small samples, small information wise. It just loops around like old Amiga fast tracker worthy sounds. So there was not a lot of information into the samples, but these are long samples, like big wave files, and there are not just one sample. It's a lot of samples depending on what note you take. So I guess it was like, now it's an old library, but back then it was a new library, like for piano roll programs like Logic and such. And I didn't know what to do with the song, so I added this bass and like a little drum and so on. But I think it works. I don't think that I ruined the song, but I think it's like, yeah, I'm happy with it. And I remember that I thought that I should just keep on going, just building it up from one pattern from another, and not like go back and copy and make it like a traditional pop song or whatever, like a verse, a bridge, a chorus, a stick, another verse, that old way that you build up songs. So you never really know what's gonna happen, so it's here comes the first part again, but in a different way. Whatever. Now suddenly it developed to some kind of synth pop thing in the later part. Yeah. So I'm happy with this song, and perhaps I just should have taken like these two songs and released them. It's 22 minutes, like it's like a whole pop or a punk album altogether. This song has another feel to it. It's a little bit more like intense in one way. It's like some kind of negative feeling to it. I actually feel that these two could be like movie songs. think that I had some kind of inspiration from the game I don't know if it's XCOM. I don't think it classifies as XCOM, but it's like the aftermath alien game, like not the Alien series, like the movie series. It's like I don't know if it's called XCOM Aftermath maybe. And there was like this biosphere field or something. I don't know if it's called that, but in my head I was like trying to visualize like the Earth being covered with this goo that they didn't know what it was. Like the whole Earth was being incubated by the aliens in that game, and you were fighting for the Earth's survival. And same thing here. I just try to like build up and not be too repetitive, just like making something else and off the next step all the time. And it was a cool feeling to just like put in a few notes and feel like, yeah, this sounds good, because always in the past I had to like put in several different instruments and notes and make a rhythm to even get some kind of feeling into the songs. But now I could just like make a chord, take a chord on my keyboard, and then yeah. And when I say keyboard, I actually mean like a computer keyboard. I didn't have any synth or anything connected to my. This is still made in like it. I think it was Modplug Tracker, yeah. So it's a tracker song. Suddenly there's this, you know. Orchestral and a little bit something else, I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking about how to remake this song with the newer samples yet again. Like, I don't know if I have to. I think I'm quite happy with this. Synth parts in the later part. And I'm playing with the bass a little bit. It sounds cool. Yeah, whatever. So that was those two songs. I can't listen to the whole part because it gets a little bit too boring to even for me at this point when I'm talking about them, because I don't have 12 minutes of interesting facts. I just have like 1 minute of interesting fact in a video that's 1 hour long. It's usually the whole idea of these videos. Yeah, whatever. So I was happy with these two. That was the first and the second song that I made, and then I tried like to do some. When I have finished them, I felt like, yeah, I want to do a lot of more long songs, but I didn't really. I wasn't able to. Uh, the songs that I made were too much melody, too much pop, too much mainstream ideas. Like it didn't work out. I couldn't like transform the songs in different ways, so they were like these two. I think I stressed myself a little bit, and I tried to do some theme from the Bible where I like took one chapter of took different chapters from the Bible and just tried to make songs out of them, and it didn't work out at all. It was just, you know, I I kind of ruined this album by thinking too much. And these songs here, maybe there are some cool sounds and so on, but there's not. I should just stayed away from them. This Dungeon 1, Dungeon 2, Stay Alert. They are from some old game project that didn't finish several years before, like in the 1990s or something like that. And Sky Beetle was also, and The Source was also made for another game, Falling Down Intro also. It wasn't made for a game per se in the beginning, but then I added it to a game project. But yeah, it's stupid to just take stuff that you had done just because I hadn't had the songs in an album before. I just like press them into something that they weren't worth of. Let's listen to this. So this song is, I like the bass and like the harmony, but it feels like it could be like a pop rock song with different instruments, and the samples used is like not good. Like a classic Genie song, like this is a pop song, but it's made with different samples, so it's just weird. Uh, So this melody could be vocal, and then you could remake this song like different. Yeah. I actually like the sound of the sample when it's like in the bass. It gives like a lot of strength into the whole sound. Often when you take like string samples anyway at this time, and with the mod trackers in general, like it sounds bad, but this sample sounds quite good when it's low, so it makes the song sound a little bit cooler. I like the chord progression in this song. You didn't hear the whole part of it, but yeah, there's some cool ideas, but it's not like worked through, and I didn't know what to do with them. This was the best I could come up with, and it's like an album of divided projects, like that it never got finished, and I just pound them into the same album. That's a mistake I will never do again, I think. Well, I have done it already, like several times. I think that I have some albums still out there. No, maybe not. When I come to think of it, yeah, here I think we have something like that. But then, yeah, it's more solid projects after this. So this was kind of the last time I made that mistake. Yeah, cool. So I learned something from it. Okay, these songs are repetitive, and I'm not happy with these ones. So these were made for a game where you were supposed to explore a dungeon and go around, and every time you could find like fights all the time in that dungeon. So the song itself was just going to be like a theme for that particular dungeon, and it were to be interrupted all the time by other songs when there was some kind of fight. So with that in mind, it's quite repetitive, but it's not a song that I would have want to in a dungeon if I played some kind of game like that. So I'm not happy with it. And I remember we had like this group. I was the leader of a small group of people uh, making music for different games, and I was the person who had contacts with all the game developers at the time. Uh, and I was the most. I created the most songs and ideas of all the guys. But then in this project, the game developer had already been in touch with some other guy, and he had a totally different vision with the game. And when he heard these songs, he was like, "No, you can't have these. That's not supposed to be like that." And he told me what was supposed to go where, and how the songs. He posted some reference tracks. So he wanted to make like, the Final Fantasy kind of vibe through the whole game, and we had totally different ideas of where the music were going. Didn't work out at all to have both me and him involved in the same project, so the game developer had done a big no, and then when we talked to that guy together, he just said that it was my way or the highway, kind of. So either you listen to Gummies or you don't. You're not part of the project. And I think that actually maybe that guy was. I understand what he were coming from, and these songs were not that great. So I understand that he didn't like them, and I understand that he had some other idea. And if he had just been able to present them in a better way than that he did, like he was too black and white, I think he wasn't that good at the social part of being part of a team. So yeah, it's sad for him and sad for me. I think I don't think that the game were ever finished either. So it doesn't really matter. But it was an interesting experience for me. I really wanted to make songs for games. So yeah. Here it's the same thing, and it's like a weird chorus reverb. Chorus. Is it the same word? Whatever. Weird effects on the drums and this is a little bit better. Visualize that you have just finished the fight, and then when you come back to the screen with the dungeon, and you walk around with your little 2D character in the dungeon, the song comes on. This works better than the first one, I think. And suddenly there's a fight, so there's totally another song. Maybe this one. Brain damaged if you play the game and these songs will come up and like interrupt each other all the time. So I don't like them. So I don't understand why I took them into this album at all. So this song is like an really old song, like from '98 or something, where I was 16 and I had some samples in it that I taken away from the album because it was swear words. It's something with somebody's mother and the idea was that it was some kind of boss fight that would do, I think, well, kind of or like a Amiga game or something. I was a little bit late to the party. I wonder how many times I'm saying that word. A little bit. Okay, so here we have some songs, the songs that didn't really get to be like 10 minutes long, because I didn't know what to do with it, but it's like a gathering of ideas. Just like the same. So it's like a song that isn't even finished, like Wonderful Freedom. I don't know why I did those things. It was like, now I'm finished with this and I can move on. That was the idea of the whole thing. I couldn't have too many projects on at the same time, I guess. This song, I'm pretty pleased with this one. So if I had my say today, this release, I would just cut out all of these ones. 3rd to the 12th, and then had this as the 3rd song on the album. Because this is a little bit, I'm saying it again, feels a bit like movie song in a way. the same samples that I use for every track like this. And here we have a cheap tune that I actually won a compo with. And then when I had... No, it's not this one. Sorry. That's totally wrong. This song was made like... What a video, right? No, this... can't think what they are really... Actually feels like they are green, right? Got blown away. But I wonder what they are doing, you know. Wow. Oh! So Sky Beetle, it was just like a late chiptune that fit the bill of the Neptune game. So it was actually made for a game, this song, and I didn't enter any compo with it. It's just kind of the same way that another song was that I won the compo with. Okay, the source is like a boss battle in that game. Oh, wrong again. Wow, I don't even remember these songs. I don't understand what this song is doing. What the hell? This bass is like in the right part of the brain. They have ears surrounding. It's not even a song. It's not worth going on an album. So A Call, I think, was a okay song, but it's like an idea, and I didn't really finish it all the way. Another orchestral try. like when I hear the bass and how it works with the like going up one octave and then down again directly. Like when you do that with basses on Logic now in these days, not many of them are reacting as fast as these old sample-based trackers. It's there's always like effects and such that are like clinging to every note that doesn't react instantly when you change like octaves like this. So the sound like uh, it hits hard and fast, and it's kind of cool. Um, so it's interesting because you gain so much from going from a tracker based uh, DAW like music program, but to a piano roll like Logic or Cubase or Fruit Loops or yeah, what's the name of the most popular one? Like the most, oh, whatever. Windows based anyway. Yeah, um, but this is one thing that I miss a bit, like these when the notes are spread around a lot. Most new instruments have too much effects on them to that doesn't react this fast. So that's the thing that I miss with the old tracker. Of course, you can come up with ideas to make it fast and so on, but it was easy back then with these kind of things. Yeah, whatever. I guess it was finished because it's not that fun to listen to, so 2 minutes is okay. Connection 5. Connection was a song that I made the first time in '98. It was a try back then to make a long song with different parts. I think there's 3 distinct parts in the original song, and they all sound different. It's like 3 different songs, but they are all connected, like, and especially in the end. So it's a kind of cool thing that there's like different parts, like different vibes to them, and then they intervene with each other in not too much, but as much as to give a whole presentation. So they are connected. Like, yeah, I think that they sound a bit off tune though. Some samples in the original song, but I had uh, even uh, anyway. I had it reviewed by some guy somewhere, and I got a lot of credits for making that song, and I like the original. So uh, if you have some songs here that that are important for me in some way, I think that it's the first 2, the sea and the investigation of the biosphere field, and then we go to Connection 5, and maybe we have a Unity is also a song that I made in '98 or something, and then I tried to remade and made it here, so it's a little bit more important than the other ones. And then to Neptune, I think is a not important, but yeah, it's like the end credits for the Neptune game, like a space shooter, like Force, the old Nintendo game. It had different names. They changed the name. Don't know the original name to the game, but Life Force was the second name. I think it was the second game also. I totally love the music to that game, and I don't think that my songs for the Neptune game are as good as the Life Force game music, but anyway. And then Cyberpunk Crew, and I will come back to why that song is more important than the other ones. Would have been more fun to have maybe a variation of two different samples, two different instruments playing all this melody. But this is cool because now there's no reverb or echo or anything suddenly, so it comes down like in front of you, and then the song starts. It's a cool idea. Version would be interesting to continue working with, like opening up and export to MIDI and work with in Logic with different samples, like totally different samples, maybe guitar samples or something. So this is just one part of the Connection original song. Like I've taken one part of the three distinct parts, and then I just made a whole song of that part. And that's why I call it Connection 5. I guess I don't know why it's 5, but yeah, I like it. It's more important to me than most of the songs in this album, as I said. Here we have a less important song again, but it's also one song that maybe could have fit the bill for track number 4 on the album, like explosive mission scenes, and then the 2 firsts, and then this one. boom, 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 boom. It's like the same thing all the time with that sample. Depending on the growing crops, I made some kind of test video version where when I first started up my YouTube channel, I made a video about that depending on the growing crops song, where I took like one part of the album cover. Let's see if I have it here. Yeah, here. Cool. So this is the front, right? But then you have the back, and this guy here. I just played around with the graphics. And the idea for this album, when I reading the back of this cover, was made for relaxation while studying. Yeah, it works on like 4 different tracks on the album, but it's just like there's 19 other tracks. So 2 Neptune is I'm happy with that ship tune. There's tempo and good melodies. Sleeping Giant was just like whatever. Oh. Weird how much information fits into your head, because I know this whole song. I could actually just stop it now and then just remake the whole song like it is. So I have all this information in my head already. Okay, so I like this song. Neptune. It's all my legendary moves are in this. Ah, it's a great. Trying to think in new patterns here, and then you come down to 2 Neptune, and I just take all the things that I'm already good at and just make a song out of it. And this I don't understand what I'm doing. It was like everything that I made was supposed to go to some kind of album at the time. It's the same thing that I did here in Walking Square. Not maybe in Saxon, but I just pushed in everything that I had. Like, yeah, this one is going here and this one is going here, but it doesn't. This track was made as a school project because I was doing some like starter course for computer learning, and I had said I knew everything in the course already, so it was not that hard. I just had to prove that I understood like how to record sounds and stuff, and how to edit sounds with like the Windows sound. recorder. So I did I did a song. I think it was this song, but there was supposed to be some samples that you remade in some way, and there was like a cow sample and stuff. And I think that I just cut that part out, but I in this version, but I had the song here for some reason, or song whatever. It's like just one pattern that goes around and around. Yeah, it actually fits that my neighbors are pounding the walls on this video. I'm happy that I didn't try to record some other album, because this album is actually not important at all for me, as you already heard. I think that I destroyed it, and it's stupid release in uh, in all, and I will never like put it out. uh, I wonder if I have it on my YouTube channel, like the whole album. I don't think so. Whatever. Oh. So Unity was a song that I was happy and pleased with when I made it back in the day. And then later on when I heard it, it was like, because when you go into a project and you just listen to that project all the time, and then you create from them that, then you stop to like actually listen to the sound, because you're creating and you're making melodies inside of that, inside the box. You don't think outside the box. I don't know how to say it in another word, but you set boundaries for yourself, like it's these samples that I'm working with. I'm not going to work with other samples. I have drum samples, I have bass samples, I have like some kind of harmonic samples, and then some sample for the melody, and a lead melody, lead sample. And when I was finished with that Unity song, and I showed it to some of my friends, and they were like, yeah, but this song is not that great. And I heard what they meant later on, because the sound, the samples itself, themselves, and the sound that it was creating was like not that great. But for me, it was about the melody, and that's always the same thing when I'm making songs and in the creative process. For me, I hear like the melodies and the harmonics and the bass lines. I don't really listen to the sound itself, and that's what was so hard with the mixing and mastering your own music, I guess, because suddenly when I finished with a song and I'm going to try to mix it a bit better and master it and so on, I have to switch focus from the creative person to like the sound guy who just listen to to the general sound, and then perhaps ideas like just take away some parts and lift others and so on, and like there's a lot of kill your darlings mentality at that part, and it's a really hard thing to do, to switch focus. But back then I didn't know at all, and I never worked with the songs more than just creating and then releasing. So I was just like the creator, the composer, and not the mix guy or the master guy. But I remember this project in particular, that I was so happy with the songs, and then my friends were like, "Yeah, but it doesn't sound that great," and they were right. I like instantly realized what they were talking about. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't sound great. I put a lot of time to this project, to this song. I think the original song is like 6 minutes long or something, and yeah. So this is like the symphony version of it, and you hear the melody and the harmonics and so on. Most of it anyway. I don't really think that it fits like a symphony hybrid. No, it's like I'm not happy with this version either. But yeah, it was like an eye opener, because I realized that I had to like focus on the general sound. And before this, I had done a lot of ship music and so on, and everybody knows how the ship music's supposed to sound like. You can't like blame. You can't talk much about the sound of ship music. It has one kind of sound. It's small samples, and it's supposed to fit on a small old ship. There's very small amounts of information fitted into a whole song, like so. The sound is supposed to sound like I don't know, shippy, lo-fi, but then if you're working with real samples or bigger samples, then you need to think more about the sound in general, I think. Yeah, and most songs that I made without ship samples were still like small samples, and like, yeah, it was a hard thing to do, because if you didn't use the right effects on them, they really sound like crap. I think that's the main issue with those old Fast Tracker songs. Here we come to Cyberpoint Crew, and the Cyberpoint Crew, what the name comes from, was the first Counter-Strike clan that I joined on the net. I remember I was on sitting on what do you say, a LAN, local area network. We had this LAN party. I think that we were maybe 50 people or something, and we played a lot of Counter-Strike, and we played on the net. So we were sitting playing together, but on like public servers, like just death matches. And it was cool because suddenly you came across other gamers, and I came across these guys that were really friendly, and they had they sat on the network cafe called Cyberpoint, and they called themselves Cyberpoint Crew, and I joined because I didn't just wanted to be a member of my LAN clan Lemon Ride, because the other guys were so hard to work with. Then later on, I came to develop Lemon Ride on the net, and we kind of made a successful run in '99, I think. Or was it 2000? 2000, I think it was. When we the best score we had, we were second in the whole 5-on-5 ladder on clan base, in the Swedish ladder, and there were like 900 active clans at the time, and we came up second. And then the shit hit the fan, so to speak. Got messy. But the Cyberpoint Crew was a cool thing for me to be part of, and I tribute to the song for them. And then my computer crashed, and I lost the original file, so I don't have it anywhere. But I had already mixed down one version and made it to an MP3 file. But there's a glitch in this song. It's a glitch in this MP3 file also. And I remember in that hard drive crash, I lost like some projects forever, like that I really loved. I remember a song called Levels that I worked with. I have the original Levels file somewhere, and then I made it like to a long song, but it didn't make it in the hard drive crash, so I lost it. Didn't have it anywhere. And there was some other songs that I worked with, and I got so heartbroken from that crash. But it's nice to have this song still here, and even if there's a glitch in the song. And this is a whole other library of samples that I used for several songs. It was, yeah, of course it was 99. Always the same drum. The drum is not the loop. I'm cutting out the same beats per delta line. It's like a bit sad, this song. Here comes a little bit of a sad part. And then we have Rifle Run, and that's also like a filler song. It's like, it's not even a single player and choose your character and gone on the adventure, so you never hear this part. I don't know. Wow, the volume change. Yeah, whatever. So this was the Mitril Genie album. Kind of a mistake. A few songs that are a bit important for me. Most are not, and yeah, it's another reminder that you shouldn't just uh, you shouldn't just um, release everything that you're working on. You don't have to finalize all your projects. You don't have to show the world everything. And now this is the video showing the world these songs, because there's no other way to listen to some of them. But I think that we will be fine, because if you're watching this, that means that you're one in a billion at least. So yeah, and thanks to the neighbors for drilling and hammering on the floor, and thanks for you that watched and struggled through this video of my wonderful English skills and my wonderful skills as a composer. Uh, yeah, it's fun making music. I have always thought that it was great, and there's some creative sparks here and there in this album, so I'm still happy that I made this video. I'm not going to be totally negative about everything. Yeah, have a nice time out there in your life, and then we will see when the next video comes. The next video in the about my albums will be in Swedish, so it won't be on this. Uh, it won't be on this playlist, YouTube playlist. But then the next video on this YouTube playlist will be the Tribute to Highway album. It will be interesting. There's a lot of information about that album, I guess. So, yeah, have a nice one. Goodbye.